All right. Hello, everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Please invite your friends. And today, let us have a good time together and answer and refute some Abdul. Uh, the Muhammadan always, their busy time is to prove to us that Jesus is not God. And their busy time, actually, to put Jesus down. Yet they claim that he is a prophet. But by saying that Muhammad is the best of mankind, you are insulting Jesus. That is guaranteed. They claim that the Bible is corrupt. But suddenly there's a verse in the Bible, the Muslims, they love it. And they believe that this verse is not corrupt. So all the Bible is like corrupt. But this verse for sure, Jesus says that. And that verse supposedly is where Jesus says, no one knows the hour but the Father. So today we are going to discuss about the judgment day and what Jesus said. Uh, if we go in the Bible, as an example in Mark 13, and we read, the Muslims only they like a verse from the whole chapter, just one verse. And that verse, uh, Jesus mentioning that the hour, but that day and that hour, no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Uh, so the Muslim they say, okay, well, Jesus saying that nobody knows the judgment day. So how you say he's God? I can say the same if there is any Muslim he dare to call me right now. I challenge the Muslims to accept the following challenge: that the one who do not know the hour, me and you, we will accept to call him false God. If there is any Muslim there to accept the challenge, because the whole Quran proving that Allah is not God, for he do not know the hour. Not only he do not know the hour, he do not know how the baby is created. He claimed that the woman have a sperm coming from her ribs. The baby is created from sperm who became a congealed blood. The man have a sperm coming from the backbone. Uh, Judgment day is near, and the moon split, and now there's no moon split, and judgment day did not happen yet 14 years ago. So there's tons of false prophecies. Or what about the Roman? The Roman will be victorious, and then we find that Muhammad he said this prophecy after it happened. Have you ever heard of a prophet? He prophesy after things happen. Uh, so when a Muslim he speak about this, are they willing to take the challenge that the one who do not know the hour, we should not accept him to be God? If there is any Muslim in the chat, if there is anyone in the chat. Anyway, always we will be happy to find Muslims who they can have little decency in case they do. But the point of making this statement is to make you suspect your disbelief. But here we notice something very important. If the Bible is corrupt as the Muslims they claim, why the Christian did not take this verse off? Is the Christian people did not, maybe we Christian we did not see it? Maybe the Christian are not aware of it. Maybe the Muslims they were able to read it. We know, like we just learned from the Muslims. So here we notice that this is additional proof that the Bible never been changed. So how the Christians for centuries they read this verse and the verse in the front of their eyes, and yet they say that Jesus is God. And why did they not take it off? They changed the whole book. They left this verse. Here you see how Muslims get themselves busted. First of all, if you believe that this verse is accurate, that's mean you believe that Jesus he said that he is the Son. and he have a father, and his father is your God, Muslims. So as long you accept this verse, you have to accept all the verse. Secondly, if Jesus said that nobody knows but the Father, well, Jesus in many places says who is he, but Muslims don't want to read. If we go to John 5, we will find the following.
John 5. After this there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool, but while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed, and walk. Then asked they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed, and walk? And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Jesus had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterward Jesus findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole, sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. The man departed, and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus, and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. But Jesus answered them, My Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God.
Hold on.
Then answered Jesus and said unto them,
made himself equal to God. Jesus, he just said, and the Bible says that he made himself equal to God. So the Jews, they don't want to kill Jesus because he is claiming to be a prophet, but he made himself equal to who? To God. And this is written in the front of us. So here we notice Jesus, who say clearly that he is equal to God, and call God his Father too. So they said not only he is breaking the Sabbath, but he is making himself equal to God. Read it carefully. Then answered Jesus and said unto them, I say, verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself. The Son what? Can do nothing of himself. Let us say it again for the deaf Muslims. The Son can do nothing of himself. What if we go to Mark? It says, not even the Son. For the Son can do nothing of himself. Are you getting the point, guys? So the Son in this earth, he can do nothing by himself. Everything I have is given to me from my Father. For the Son can do nothing of himself. Now, why the Muslims, they stuck with that one? What about stick with this one? Because Jesus, he just said the Son can do nothing of himself. Okay, what does that mean? But what he sees the Father do. For what things he does, he does, those also doth the Son likewise. For the Father loves the Son, and showeth him all things that himself does, and he will show him greater work than those that ye may marvel. Here Jesus telling us that the flesh in the front of you, this is not his power. This is the power is given to me. I am the word of God in the man. The Son, he always do things which is given to him from the Father, for he can do nothing of himself. So when you ask Jesus about when the hour will come, he is talking about the Son. Jesus, he called himself many times in the Bible the Son of Man, the Son of the Man, the Son of the Man, the Son of the Man. So the Son of the Man, he can do nothing of his own. He is in the flesh, and that make him limited for the flesh. Yet Jesus, in the same chapter we are reading, he made the man go or run, he cannot walk. Jesus, he made the blind see. Jesus, he resurrected people from death. Jesus, he tell you even what you had in your houses in the Quran. But Jesus said, everything I have is given to me from my Father. Let us continue listening and see how easy to answer the Muslims' lies and deception.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself doeth, and he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. For as the Father raiseth up the dead, and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son
I will stop here. So the Muslim, they claim that Jesus said that the Son, okay, Jesus said he don't know the judgment day, but Jesus will be the judge in the judgment day. And even Muhammad, he said that the Messiah Isa, he will come down as a hakaman muqsitan, which means an absolute just and justice. Hakaman muqsitan. How Jesus can be hakaman muqsitan? You Muslims, you have tons of contradictions. When you accuse Jesus or you try to make him not being God, your prophet, he got you busted. Jesus do not know the judgment day, but he will be the judge for the judgment day. So you have a job and you are going to do, but you do not know when you will do it. Why is that? Because Jesus said it clearly, the Son can do nothing of his own. Nothing of his own. Everything he have is given to him from the Father. So judgment day is not a decision Jesus will make for you now, because simply we don't believe in destiny. You see, the Muslims, they believe in destiny, that judgment day is already written. The day, the hour, what will happen, even what we do, even the sin we did, according to Islam, Allah, he wrote our sin. If you remember when Muhammad, he claimed that Adam and Moses, they have a debate, and Adam, Moses, he said to Adam, because of you we are out of heaven. So Adam, he says to him, do you blame me for a sin written for me 40 years before Allah created me? So to understand judgment day in Christianity, you have to stay away from the stupidity of the cult of Islam, because in Islam, even your sin is not your sin, it is the sin of Allah. Let me show you, so the Muslims will not make, and we will go to the Bible, but we are just connecting the dots and show you how we are totally different from what Muslims believe. As you see, this is Sahih al-Bukhari, so the Muslims cannot say those hadith are stupid and they are, they are not accepted, etc. So Moses and Adam, they have an argument, and Moses look like he is believing in the original sin, and yet the Muslims, they claim that Moses was a Muslim. But Moses is a prophet, but he do not know what the original sin, because he believe exactly what the Christian believe. Moses accused Adam that because of you, we are out of heaven, which means Moses cannot be Muslim. And here Muhammad, he got himself busted again, because how every Muslim today, he knew that original sin should be rejected, because what Islam is about is to reject original sin. But yet Moses, who is a Muslim prophet, he believed in original sin, and he accused Adam that because of you, you are our father who disappointed us and turned us out of paradise. That is original sin. Here you see Muhammad prove to us that Muslims claim that Moses, and Muhammad claim that Moses was a Muslim, is a big fat lie. Then Adam said to him, "O Moses, Allah favored you with his talk," which means he spoke to him directly. And he wrote, and this is very funny, by the way, because I thought Adam too, he spoke to Allah. So what do you mean spoke to you directly? Isn't it Adam who sneezed and Allah, he says to him, bless you? Isn't it Adam who asked Allah for forgiveness, and Allah said to him, he asked him for forgiveness in the name of Muhammad, and Allah, he says to him, how you know the name of Muhammad? He says, I saw it written in your throne. Stupidity, tons of fiction stories. So he said to him, okay, Allah, he spoke to you directly, blah blah blah, and then he says to you, and he wrote the Torah for you on your hand, but yet do you blame me for an action which Allah had written in my fate 40 years before my creation? So in the cult of Islam, your sin is not your sin, it is sin Allah, he decide for you. In Christianity, we don't have such a thing. So if you go and read what Jesus said about the judgment day, which no one knows but the Father, you will see that Jesus is telling us when the judgment day is going to be, but not the date, but it is by the act. For the judgment day will be by our act, not by a written destiny. Here we have a written destiny, which means it is known. Allah wrote your sin, Allah, he made you sinner. Even Muhammad, he claimed that when you commit adultery, it's not you who is an adulteress, it's Allah. Read carefully. Verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge. Do you believe it? So when you commit adultery, it is not your choice to commit or not to commit. Allah, he fixed, he have it fixed for you. So in Islam, in the cult of Islam, all your sin is already written, because this is a decision Allah, he made. It's not you. As you see, it says, verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge, which means you don't have a choice to do or not. In Christianity, we don't believe in such a garbage, because if you are the one who decides for them how much adultery they will do, then why you want to punish them? It's you who made them commit adultery. The same as the story of Adam. If you are the one who wrote the fate of Adam before you created him, 40 years before he created Adam, so why you kick him out from heaven? It's you who made him commit sin. This is why Islam is a silly cult, stupid cult, literally. In Christianity, we don't have such a stupid teaching. So, you know, actually, this will remind me when the Muslims, they speak about Jesus, you know. Remind me when Jesus, he said to them, you protect like the from the weather, you know, like you say the weather, like we look at the sky, we see it red, so we predict a storm is going to be. If you go like to Matthew 16 as an example, let me see if I can open it.
Matthew 16. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say, It will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, It will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
This is exactly what Jesus is saying to the Muslims. Let us see together how Jesus he informed us about the signs of the time. They are hypocrite. The same verse they say to us that Jesus said that he do not know the hour is the same chapter where Jesus says that he know the hour. So here we ask ourselves, why the Muslims always they quote a verse. When we quote a verse from them from the Quran, it says, oh, you are taking it out of context. Why the Muslims don't admit that they are doing exactly the same? And why they don't admit that you just admitted that Jesus said clearly that he have a father? And why you don't accept the holy chapter? Why you accept only a verse? This is the book. This is not a verse only. So if we go in Matthew, you will see that Jesus saying, and let us play the sound.
Matthew 24. And Jesus went out, and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him, for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down.
Here Jesus telling us about a future which nobody knows. So Jesus did not know the hour, but he knew the temple will be destroyed. How this happened? Let us see.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Wait, see what was the question, guys? What was the question? When is the sign? When is the day, the judgment day? So they jumped to the end, but they did not read the beginning. Jesus is there. He did not say to them, I don't know. You see, he did not say to them, I don't know. They are asking you when the hour will come. Guys, are you listening? What they are asking him, when the hour will come. He did not say, I don't know. Later we will see that he said that neither the angels, neither the son. But look, Jesus here is telling them when the hour will happen. Listen carefully. Listen carefully.
And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation.
But the end is not yet. Don't be scared. The end is not yet. But Jesus do not know. I mean, how Jesus is God? I mean, how Jesus can be God? The temple was destroyed exactly as Jesus said. Many people, they came and they claimed to be Christ, and he said exactly that there's many people after him will come and claim to be Christ, and he is counting for you. Many things will happen, and he did not say I do not know, because the one who do not know the judgment day, he do not know those things too. And now we will understand what Jesus is talking about. Listen carefully.
And kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of...
Hold on. See, Jesus is counting for us things one after one after one. Now they just ask him. You see, Muhammad, he claimed that when somebody asks him a question, he don't answer right away. Jibril, he come to him with the answer from God. Jibril, they just ask him, and Jesus, he is answering immediately, saying to them how to know when is going to be the hour, but not when the date. When is going to be the signs of the hour, but not the date, for the date is not written, for the date is not to be known, not for the man, not for a human, not for anyone, for a very simple reason, because he is saying to you, the more sin you commit, the faster the judgment day will come. You see, when Jesus said those things has to come, that's mean we have to do them. And as long we believe that we have a free will, that's mean God is not involved in our free will. When we do the sin, the more sin we do, the faster the day will come. And this is what Jesus is saying. And this is why he said that I will come to you the same as a thief in the middle of the night, which means you shall not be aware and you shall not be told, because this is how it should be. So you will be vigilant and you should be ready for me. And he gave us many examples, as those who they are waiting for the wedding. You know, they have a lamp in their hands, and some they have oil and some they don't have oil. The one who have oil is the one which means he have faith and he have belief, and the one who don't have oil, judgment day is not coming, so it's going to be in a surprise. So this is because of the wisdom of God, not because of the disability of the Messiah. Let us continue.
Desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things.
You see, look what Jesus just said. There's Abdul saying you are confused. You are the one who's confused. You Muslims are even confused.